It's an honor for us to be back in the Citrus Bowl. We had a fantastic experience the last time we were there, and very proud of our coaches and our football team, the way we finished. Like most teams, it's always a couple what ifs. You'd like to have a couple games back, but proud of our players and coaches for the way we finished. And it's an honor to be back in the Citrus Bowl and to play the Iowa Hawkeyes. Obviously a team that is very close to myself and my family. And I have such great respect for Coach Ferentz, the entire Hawkeye organization, their players. I know how tough they are and the way they play, and it'll be a great challenge. But it's an exciting time. It's going to be a great game, a great matchup. And once again, thank you for the invitation. And it was a great experience the last time. And we would expect nothing less than another experience like we had the last time. So we're really looking forward to it, and kind of a hectic time, to be honest with you. I'm out running around, recruiting, traveling, but it's an honor to be a part of this, and we're excited.
And just for the record, Coach Stoops will be audio only for this, but we do have Luke and DeAndre available via video. If you have questions for any of them, raise your hand. We'll start with John Hale, the Courier-Journal. John, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Hey, Mark, can you just expound a little bit on what Iowa as a program meant to you? Obviously, getting all three of your brothers, or two of your brothers, and you as a kid, that must have meant a lot for your family.
Yeah, it absolutely. It's hard to put into words what the Iowa program has meant to us. In the early part of our careers, whether it was playing or getting started in coaching, I remember as a young child, getting in the car, playing the football games on Friday night, or my dad coaching on Friday night, and getting in the car, driving 10 hours, arriving in the morning, watching my brothers play, and staying Saturday night and getting back in the car and driving another 10 hours back home. So, just the experience with Coach Hayden Fry, all of the assistant coaches, the people of Iowa, everybody was just so good to us during our time there. It really helped shape a lot of what we became, and the success we've had has a lot to do with the roots of Iowa, with Hayden and Coach Ferentz and the many other talented coaches that were there. Of course, Coach was there. We overlapped a time when he was an assistant coach there, and of course then he came back. So just nothing but fond memories from the Hawkeye experience.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate that. We'll keep rolling with questions for Coach if we can. We know he's on about your team's return trip to the Citrus Bowl. We're excited to have you down here for this year's VRBO Citrus Bowl on New Year's Day, 1 p.m. Against Iowa, and then let us know how you're feeling.
Thank you. Yeah, it absolutely. It's hard to put into words what the Iowa program has meant to us. In the early part of our careers, whether it was playing or getting started in coaching, I remember as a young child, getting in the car, playing the football games on Friday night, or my dad coaching on Friday night, and getting in the car, driving 10 hours, arriving in the morning, watching my brothers play, and staying Saturday night and getting back in the car and driving another 10 hours back home. So, just the experience with Coach Hayden Fry, all of the assistant coaches, the people of Iowa, everybody was just so good to us during our time there. It really helped shape a lot of what we became, and the success we've had. Has a lot to do with the roots of Iowa, with Hayden and Coach Ferentz and the many other talented coaches that were there. Of course, Coach was there we overlapped a time when he was an assistant coach there, and of course then he came back. So just nothing but fond memories from the Hawkeye experience.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate that. We'll keep rolling with questions for Coach if we can. We know he's on the road, and we'd like to get him through pretty quickly. Coach Matt Rochelle will be next from the Orlando Sentinel. Matt, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Mark, I want to ask. You mentioned Kirk. Obviously, he wasn't your position coach, but he was on that staff when you played there. What kind of stood out to you about him? What do you remember about that time there when he was there? And what have you seen from him as a head coach that's shown so much durability, being around for so long?
Yeah. I mentioned it earlier in the year. It just says a lot about Kirk and a lot about the people of Iowa and the organization to have the stability that they've had, with Hayden Fry and then with Kirk. What I remember about him was just kind of what you see now. Just an impressive man, an impressive coach that always was nothing but professional. So as a young player there, even I was on defense and he was the O-line coach. You just saw a man that was going to be successful. I think everybody that ever came in contact with him and everybody in our program had nothing but respect for Coach Ferentz and knew that he would go on to big things.
Coach, we'll take our next question from Larry Bott. Larry, go ahead when you're ready.
Mark, you mentioned that you're out recruiting right now. So what does it mean when you're out recruiting and you talk about New Year's bowl game in Florida?
Well, everything helps. The fact that we've been consistent, we've been winning games, and like most teams, we want more. We want to keep on pushing, but it does help when you're going to bowl games and going to Florida, and we're looking forward to that experience.
Coach, our next question will come from Scott Dochterman of The Athletic. Scott, you can go ahead whenever you're ready.
Yeah, Coach Stoops, I had a question kind of about your Iowa experience and how much of an influence did Bill Brazier have on you and your brother's careers as far as kind of teaching you how to become a coach in that level?
He had an enormous impact on myself and my brother. So I know they have all. I don't normally comment for my brothers, but I know in this case, because we've all talked about it and I've heard him comment on it publicly, what an influence Bill Brazier had on us. Just an incredible man, just like every coach that has been through there, during our time. Nothing but respect for the coaches. And Coach Brazier was, really the ultimate. He was our defense coordinator, position coach, and really old school, tough guy, but also very caring and very influential person in my life. So I have nothing but respect for Coach.
Coach, thank you. Our next question will come from Mitch Davis. Mitch, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Coach, first and foremost, congratulations on the great season. Wins over Louisville. Heck of a season, Coach. Coach, two-part question for you. First and foremost, Coach, congratulations on the contract extension. What does the University of Kentucky mean to you? And the second part of that is, with the contract extension that you got from the University of Kentucky, with the win over Louisville, what is that recruiting pitch like when you're out on the road and you're talking to recruits? What do you tell those guys to get those guys to come to the University of Kentucky?
Well, the first part of your question, what does the University of Kentucky mean to me? It means everything to me. It's where I've been for the past 9 years. You have two unbelievable people and players that are about to jump on that you're going to get an opportunity to speak with DeAndre and Luke, two of our finest right there that I have, just so much appreciation for. And it's been a really good marriage between the University of Kentucky and myself. It's, there's ups and there's downs, but there's always that way. And, I feel very proud to be there for 9 years and to be a part of that and continue to build that program. And, as far as the win, it's always a win. It's always an important win over a rival. And it always helps you. The big thing is I'm very happy for our players because it's a very intense grind going through any conference, in particular the SEC, and going through the physical and mental strain during the course of the season is awfully difficult. And to see the joy in our players' faces as we wrapped up that last game on the road against our rival, it means it gives you a lot of momentum heading into the recruiting season.
Coach, thank you. We'll take our next question from Nick Roush, Kentucky Sports Radio. And after that, we'll go with John Steppe and John Hale and Joshua Moore.
Hey, Mark, I've never seen any clips of you back in the day. So how would you describe your play at the University?
Well, let's not go there right now. I might have to break a few out for the players just to give them a few laughs, during the bowl practice. I'll break some out and show DeAndre and Luke a couple of my moves. But no, I was really I was not very impressive as a player, that's for sure. I loved my time there, did the best I could, and not going to make any excuses. But back then, when you tore up a knee, it was a little different than it is right now. Still no fun, but I had my fair share of injuries there that led to an early knee replacement. So we're going to stay away from that. So thanks.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take three more for Coach, and then we'll move on to a couple of questions for DeAndre and Luke. We've got John Steppe from the Gazette. John, go ahead when you're ready.
Mark, what are the emotions going to be like when you finally get to take the field against the school that has meant so much to you?
That it's an interesting. I'm sure it will. I mean, it'll be different for me, being that my father has my game jersey from the Hawkeyes, very neatly folded and placed in his casket where he's buried in my jersey. That with the black and gold, it definitely will mean something to me, different than anybody else I've played. That's for sure.
Thank you, Coach. A couple more. We'll take John Hale of the Courier-Journal, and then Josh Moore from Lexington. John, go ahead when you're ready.
Mark, in relation to the contract extension, obviously that's a huge message to send to recruits, but how much also does there still need to be investment? And, you've talked about the indoor facility, your assistant coach salary pool, recruiting budget. How much of all that was talks with Mitch during this process too?
All of it was talked about. And so, we're working through it. I've had a great relationship with Dr. Capilouto and Mitch, and I have a lot of trust in those guys. And we talked about it prior to the agreement, and I'm sure we'll continue to work our way through it. It's not like it's just a simple answer on some things.
All right, we'll take one more for Coach from Josh Moore. Josh, go ahead when you're ready.
Mark, Coach Ferentz brought up earlier that Coach Frazier, he shared a story about a recruiting visit you took to Iowa, and said in a meeting later that if he didn't think if you weren't a Stoops that he would not have thought you would be a good college football player, and he went on to say good things about you. What do you remember from your time being recruited and just I know you talked a little bit about your experience getting hurt there, but just
Well, I just remember, I was recruited by three different schools I really looked at. Glenn Mason was recruiting me from Ohio State. And then, Barry Alvarez was recruiting me to Iowa. And then Nick Saban was recruiting me to Michigan State. And as I mentioned, I went on a visit to Iowa, I went on a visit to Ohio State. And I knew if Ohio State, if I didn't go there, I was definitely going to go to Iowa. And just I felt so comfortable with those coaches. They were really like fathers to me during my time there, and they were just such great people, such a great organization, and that's what I try to be for our players, and try to be there and support them during good times and in bad. And, it just shows you. I'll tell you what kind of people Hayden Fry is and was, and the rest of his staff was. When my father passed during the season, they took a plane and came to my father's funeral, and I believe, I know we were getting ready to play Michigan the next week, and so it just shows you what kind of people they are. So that was an easy decision for me. As I mentioned, I was teasing Rex on myself, I was a very average player. I think, I became a starter my junior year, and then that was short-lived. I blew out my knee I think I got back from my father's funeral on Wednesday, and I blew out my knee against Michigan on Saturday, and that was about the end of my career.
All right, thank you, Coach. We appreciate your time. I know you've got a busy travel schedule, so I'm grateful that you've had a few minutes to join us, and we'll continue on for questions. But we'll let you go now. I thank you for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, once again, thank you to DeAndre and Luke. You have two fantastic people to visit with right now that will represent us the right way. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in Florida. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach. We'll see you soon. And so for DeAndre and Luke, we'll take down all the current raised hands just so we know that we've got questions for players. So if you can raise hands with new questions, we would appreciate that. Luke, I wanted to start with you. I had read, you're a fifth-year senior. And I'd read the story previously that it noted talking about your favorite Kentucky memories and listing your previous Citrus Bowl appearance as one of them. What was it about your trip down here a couple seasons ago that was so special to you, and how much are you looking forward to returning to close things out?
Yeah, thanks for that. I'm actually a six-year senior. I know some of the media was going to correct you if I didn't. So I'm a six-year senior. And yeah, I had a great time at the Citrus Bowl last year, or 3 years ago. So that's how old I am. I had ended up not being able to play in the game itself. I got hurt in practice the week before, but just the whole experience and being able to play a really strong Big Ten team and come out with a victory with that Kentucky team was an awesome experience for me, and something that I'm really eager to try and repeat.
Thank you, Luke. I didn't want to date you too much. We'll take our first question from Mitch Davis. Mitch, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Luke, congratulations on the incredible season and the win over Louisville. I wanted to just ask you, as a six-year senior, what does that win over Louisville mean to you and also the other veterans? And how do you plan on helping the younger guys get ready for such a big bowl game against Iowa in the Citrus Bowl?
Yeah, that win, it means a lot to me and the other veteran guys. To be able to finish my career 4-1 against Louisville was a really cool thing. And it's a big win for us in terms of momentum. And I feel like we can carry this positive momentum into the bowl week, the bowl practice, and the week leading up to the bowl. And it's definitely going to be different for some of these younger guys because, last year we did it during COVID. And, this year it's going to be new for some of those new freshmen who've only been here for a couple of years. So I think the main thing with this bowl practice is just staying focused because there's a lot of distractions. School finishes up. You get to go home for Christmas for a couple of days. And then you're, in the city of Orlando for a whole week before the game. So finding that balance between making sure you're having a good time and making sure you're getting ready to win the game is going to be important for us.
Thank you, Luke. We've got Jeff Drummond on tap next. Jeff, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Hey, Luke, we had Tyler Linderbaum from Iowa on with us earlier. I believe they said he was Big Ten Offensive Lineman of the Year. Two really good units in this matchup. Is there going to be some personal pride about the O-lines going into this one, even though I know you guys square up with the defensive line, but sounds like a really good line matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. I've watched their offensive line quite a bit, and they play hard. They're a hard-nosed unit. Tyler Linderbaum himself is a great player. I've watched a lot of his film. I definitely think there's going to be some pride going into it. And, their defense is doing really well and defending against the run this year. And, they haven't given up many points in each of their games. So it's definitely going to be a pride thing. And I think you're going to see us going head-to-head with the offensive lines for sure.
Thank you, Luke. We'll take our next question from Josh Moore. Josh, you can go ahead when you're ready.
Hey, Luke, when you, as a player and especially as a six-year senior, this is your last time out there, regardless, you don't have necessarily a decision to make. For you, though, just playing and just how important do you feel it is to go out there and go out with a win, just, in terms of the program and the momentum that it's on and how you're one of the players that's contributed to that?
Yeah, I'm really excited to play this game. When I first got here, Kentucky was, we went 7-5 my freshman year, and it was when Coach Stoops really started, turning the program around. And to be able to be a part of that and be able to, continually build towards something like another Citrus Bowl victory in the last, I guess 3 years, 4 years would be really big for us, especially for a game. I didn't get to play in that 2018 Citrus Bowl. So, this is kind of like a do-over for me. So I'm really excited to be out there.
Appreciate it, Luke. We'll move on. Our next question will be from, I've lost my screen. We'll do Larry Vaught. Vaught, you can go ahead and whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Hey, Luke, kind of following up on offensive line play going into this year with the new offensive line coach and not having John Schlarman here this year. And I think maybe there were some wonders about the offensive line. The fact that we don't hardly talk about Eric Wolford, is that the best compliment possible for him to show what a good job he's done with you guys this year?
Yeah, he probably enjoys the fact that you guys don't talk about him much. No, it's a huge compliment. He's done an incredible job. Like you said, coming on a new O-line coach with a new offense, coming off losing Coach Schlarman. I mean, the job he's done with getting us ready to play this year has been absolutely incredible. And he is very glad you don't mention his name. And it's been for a good reason. We've had some young guys come along really well. We've had some veterans play really well. And I'm really proud of our offensive line.
Reminder, if you have any questions for DeAndre or Luke, I would love to get a question there for DeAndre. You can use the raise hand function. We'll take our next one from John Huang, followed by John Hale, Jeff Drummond, and Nick Roush.
Hey, Luke, you've got to be getting pretty good at this. I mean, this is Kentucky's 6th straight bowl appearance. Leading up to the bowl, the preparation, what are you going to be doing differently this year than maybe you did the first couple of years?
Yeah, we've definitely learned a lot from that first Gator Bowl in 2016. Like I said earlier, it's a lot about finding that balance between having fun and getting ready to win a football game. 2016, we'd never been to a bowl before. We got caught up in all the week before, all the fun you get to have, all the events you go to, being in a whole new city. So as you can tell, we've moved on. These last 3 years here, we've been able to come away with victories in the bowl games. And a lot of that's been what Coach Stoops has done, his message, and understanding that the veterans now know how to approach these games and how to spend a whole month, studying the opponent and game planning the opponent, and then going down to the bowl site, having a great week of practice and getting ready to win the game and having fun while you do it. There's no reason you can't do both. You just have to know where the line is.
We'll move on to John Hill next, but first I want to ask you, DeAndre, we haven't gotten to hear your voice yet. Can you talk to me a little bit about being a senior leader on this defense and how excited you are to play down here in Orlando?
It's been fun this year being a senior leader on this defense. When I first got this role, it wasn't tough, but it was, it's kind of hard to get everybody going the right way. But when we got everybody going the right way, it's been pretty fun. I love this, and I'm glad that we get a chance to get back down into Orlando to play in the bowl game. It was fun being down there my freshman year, so to do it again my senior year to come full circle. So I think it'll be pretty fun to have everybody down there.
Absolutely. We saw Big Blue Nation show up in 2019 for that New Year's Day game. What can you say, both of you, DeAndre and Luke, just about the Kentucky home fans and the kind of support you guys feel like you're always getting from them?
You can never say enough about the BBN. I'd say one of the best fan bases in the whole United States. They the greatest. To me, they're the greatest. They never give enough love. They always got so much love for you. They always at every game they can possibly come to. And they just show a lot of love and make it feel special to be a Wildcat.
Yeah, we never question whether or not they're going to show up for these games, and we're excited to see how much blue's in that stadium for sure.
We'll take a couple more for Luke and DeAndre. We'll go with John Hale next, and then Jeff Drummond and Nick Roush will close out with that. John, go ahead when you're ready.
Yeah, for DeAndre, obviously there's been a lot of speculation about what you might do with that extra year of eligibility. Have you made up your mind one way or the other, just kind of where you at in that decision-making process?
No, I haven't really truly made up my mind yet. I've been doing a lot of thinking with this time off, and I don't know, it's a tough decision, but I don't know. I haven't made up my mind.
We'll take a couple more. We've got Jeff Drummond next. Jeff, go ahead when you're ready.
Hey, DeAndre, earlier we were on with the Iowa guys, and they talked a lot about just how much they need this time coming up from a physical and mental standpoint. Can you kind of talk about you guys from the same perspective, how it'll be nice to have 2 or 3 weeks coming up here?
Oh yeah, after playing in the full SEC, having those SEC games, it's tough. So it can take a lot out of you mentally and physically. So I feel like these 2 to 3 weeks are important for us to get back right mentally and physically, so we can be prepared to play a hard game versus Iowa team. So I feel like these 2 to 3 weeks is going to be very important for us.
All right, we'll close out with one from Nick Roush. Nick, go ahead whenever you're ready.
All right, I've got one for each of you. I'll start with Square. So, what was the news what was your reaction when you heard that John Summerall was going to be the head coach at Troy?
I was pretty happy for him because I know what type of guy he is. He's big blue all the way down. He would love to stay here for as long as he can, but the opportunity that he had is just something he couldn't pass up on. So when he called me, because he called me before the news got out, and he called me and we had a nice conversation, and I couldn't do anything but smile for the guy because I mean he's helped everybody that he's came across in that facility here at UK. He helped all the linebackers, and he was a big part of Jamin. And I can't thank him enough because I mean he's been really important for me. Whether through like the ups and the downs, he's always been there for me. So I was nothing but happy. I was happy for the man because that's a big time job. I'm happy for him.
And for you, Luke, kind of keep it similar. We're going to be hearing a lot of Coach Stoops in Iowa. That's going to be the next month, all the time, all the talk everywhere in the media. What's it like to have an opportunity? I know he's a pretty selfless guy that you all can give him a win that can mean a lot to him personally.
Yeah, it's really big for us. He talked a lot about the way he felt when he was at Iowa. And I think the best thing about it is I believe that's the way we feel about Coach Stoops, and feeling like, the coaching staff here act as father figures to us, and, they make us feel comfortable, and we know they would do anything for us. Just like you heard Square talking about Coach Summerall. I mean, it's the same exact thing. So to get a win over Iowa for Coach Stoops, it would truly mean a lot to us. I mean, he works his butt off for us, and his coaching staff works as hard as they can for us. And to be able to reward him with that win would be really big for us.
I said we'd be done after that one, but I think we got time for a couple more. So we'll take one more from Larry Vaught, and then another from Josh Moore, and then we'll be done. Larry, go ahead when you're ready.
Yeah. Thanks, DeAndre. Just getting a little bit back to Coach Summerall. What are you going to remember most about him, and what are you going to enjoy the most the next few weeks while you still have a chance to be around him?
I'm gonna remember he's a very exciting guy. He's like the tone setter. I mean, he's always got energy and juice, no matter what day it is, game day, practice, just a film day. I mean, he's always got juice, and he always has a nice story. He always tells us stories. So I'm probably gonna remember the stories he used to tell us. And I mean, he's lived a lot on this earth, and he has a story for everything. So I'm gonna remember the stories he tells us. And what was the second part of the question?
And what does it mean? What are you going to think enjoy the most about just being around him for these last couple of weeks when you're going to have a chance to be with him?
I know the whole group is going to do this because he's just a great guy, but we're just going to enjoy the last time we can possibly he'd be our coach. So, I mean, every chance we get, every meeting, every practice, I know that me and the other linebackers are going to go hard for him because, I mean, we know how much this last game is going to mean to him because, like I said, he wouldn't want to leave his university. I mean, he got a great opportunity. That's the only reason. But we're gonna play very hard for him because we know how much it means to him.
Hey, DeAndre, we'll take one last one from Josh Moore, and then we'll get these guys out of here. Josh, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Hey, DeAndre, I don't really have a question for you as much as a request, but would you care to show off your posters? Looks like you got a pretty awesome collection there.
Here, DeAndre, we got to have you on mute so we can hear the descriptions.
Okay, I'm a poster guy. I like Marvel. I like Stranger Things and Rick and Morty and Minecraft. So this is a nice amount, So yeah,
I like it.
Awesome stuff. Thank you both, Luke and DeAndre. We appreciate the time and having you join us, and we look forward to having you both down here in Orlando.